Over the last 12 months, how many units have you done roughly?
Roughly done around 80 units.
And how many of those have come from social media?
Last year, we closed 25 units from YouTube.
And you think you'll do more this year?
So we've actually already surpassed that this year.
Okay, that's enough to get everyone's attention in the world. So walk me through, as if I'm an agent out there. I want to make money on social media. I have no idea what to do, but talk me through this. What's my first step?
So I'd say the first step is that you have to pick the platform that you want to become an expert in. And that is really where I saw YouTube explode for me, was making that commitment to really go all in on one platform. Prior to testing out YouTube, I was trying to do a little bit of everything. I knew that video was important and that we needed to do it. And so there was videos that were placed on Facebook, and then I would try putting those videos on YouTube and wasn't really getting much traction with anything. And then I kind of discovered that realtors were being successful with making YouTube videos, and it was making the commitment to go all in on that strategy and really give it time to see if it works before I gave up on it.
So step one, pick my platform. And when you say that, that's like whether I'm going to be the Tickety Talks or the Insta-Twitters or MySpace. I literally had an agent mention MySpace yesterday, and I didn't even know that was still a thing. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So here's a funny story. My husband a couple of years ago asked me, was MySpace or Facebook more popular? And I had to break the news to him that MySpace shut down like 10 years ago.
I love him. I love him. Okay, so pick my platform. You selected YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm picking YouTube, that's step one. What's step two?
So step two is to know what your audience wants to watch. So on YouTube, it is a search engine. It's owned by Google, and people are searching for information, and they want to be educated for the most part, educated and entertained. YouTube is not the platform to put listing videos or videos about maybe even your town. Like, that's not necessarily why people are going on YouTube. They're searching for information. And so that was realizing that those listing videos that I was placing on YouTube, the reason why they weren't performing is because they were boring and no one's searching for homes for sale on YouTube. But they are searching for information on your town and the pros and cons of living in certain areas and the cost of living, and they want to be educated about a particular area. And so it was seeing other realtors being successful making that type of content, and that is the exact type of content that we started making that really propelled the success of the channel.
So you said you're just outside of Georgia. Where exactly in the world do you operate? You're in what town?
We're in Buford, Georgia.
Buford, Georgia. Perfect. So did you look up and say people that are moving to Buford would want to know blank? Or did you look up and say people that live in Buford would want to know blank? Or did you ask a different question?
So for the most part, think about yourself. Like, you living in your town are not going to search for information on your town, right?
Right.
So the people that we are targeting that are searching for that information are people that are relocating from elsewhere in the state or the United States or across the world. So I live in Gainesville, Georgia, which is 20 miles outside of Buford. And when I initially started this project, I researched, and you can do it through Google keyword analytics searching, that 20 people a month were searching moving to Gainesville, Georgia. And when I started this journey looking at someone in Orlando or Austin, Texas, where they're getting hundreds of searches a month, moving to those towns, I originally thought, man, that's not enough people, and this is going to go nowhere. But looking at that through a different lens, if 20 people a month are searching move into Gainesville, Georgia, and I'm the only real estate agent making content on that area, then that's 20 people a month that I could potentially help find a house. That is a crazy ton of business comparatively to what we were doing. So that led me down the journey of, let's make that content.
Got it. Okay. So now I know what kind of content I'm making, and I now know who the audience is. What's step three?
Step three is that you want to be consistent. So you have to consistently put out a video every single week, a minimum of one video a week at the same time, on the same day, every single week.
So it matters. Like if I doing it the same day and the same time, like that's a thing.
So what we learned in the process of studying this is that YouTube wants to know that your channel is someone that is consistent with putting out content. And so this is the part of, whenever you're picking your video platform and you're committing to the strategy, you have to be committed to it. Not only time-wise, but also over a period of time, because you have to give it time to work. And so knowing that, learning that, I was like, okay, we have to put out a video every single week, and we need to be very, very consistent with this and give it time and space to see if this is going to work. YouTube also needs that time because they want to find your audience for your video. And they know that they can help find that audience knowing that you're going to be consistently putting out content.
Let me ask you this, because it just kind of hit me in the head, right? Because you said, you gotta post one a week. Am I making, is step 2 or 3 actually making a channel? Like, do I go make a channel on YouTube, or do I just is it like Facebook where I get a profile and I just post under my name? Like, how do I do that?
Yeah, so you do need to create a channel, and that is very easy to do. So it's linked to your Gmail, Google profile. A lot of agents will kind of stress out about what to name their channel. They'll stress out about the channel artwork and getting ready to get ready to get ready. And from experts that I've learned from, none of that really matters. So the name of your channel doesn't matter. The artwork that you have at the top, the keywords, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a channel and you are consistently producing content that is entertaining and engaging that people want to watch.
I love that. Okay, so step 1, pick the platform. Step 2, know the audience. Step 3, create the channel for idiots like me. And then step 4 is be consistent. So let's talk about the video, because it's be consistent posting this video, and yet I still have no idea what I should do in a video. So,
Sure.
I would agonize about this, but that's probably a mistake. Meaning, how long should it be? Is there a model? Are there do's and don'ts? Like, I'm not great on camera. Walk me through this. What'd you learn?
Yeah, there's all kinds of do's and don'ts to making video content. The biggest advice that I can give to agents that are thinking about doing this is to just start. Your videos will get better. And, if you try to make something perfect before you put it out there to the world, you will never put out a video. And so it's amazing that the first phone calls that we got were on videos that were, quite frankly, terrible lighting, terrible sound. The editing was bad. And yet we still got people that called us to buy a house from those videos that were, frankly, not that good. And then over time, your videos will get better. So, the most important thing is to committing to doing it, and you got to figure out how you're going to produce the videos. So you can do it a couple of different ways. You can do it kind of like similarly where I am right now, where I'm set up in kind of like a studio in my house. I have an iPhone that I film off of. So there's no fancy camera equipment that's needed.
It can't be this simple. Sarah, I want it to be more complicated, though. I think I should go spend $5,000 on a camera. Are you telling me I don't have to do that?
Nope, you can use a tripod in your iPhone. You will need an external camera or microphone, rather, and those are very cheap that you can buy on Amazon. I'm still using the same $35 shotgun mic that I bought 2.5 years ago whenever we started this. And you also need a light. So you can get started making these YouTube videos very, very easily for under $100. So you can either film it in your house or office, wherever you want to, or you can film them on location. There are many agents that are successful with filming videos on location as well. They're using selfie sticks, or they're putting their camera on a tripod and they're just getting out and standing in front of it. It's whatever way that you are going to be able to be most consistent and most successful in filming videos is the method that you want to choose that you can do.
Is there an optimum length from a video?
There is. So YouTube rewards the length of time that's watched rather than the percentage of time. So if I make an 8-minute video and someone watches 4 minutes of that, that is better than, or let me back up. If I make a 4-minute video and someone watches all 4 minutes of it, that's fine. But if I make a 12-minute video and someone watches 5 minutes of that, that in YouTube's eyes is a better success. because they know that someone spent 5 minutes on my channel watching my content.
Why do I care what YouTube thinks about my content?
So you want to play into their game, right? So you want them to recognize that you're a channel that people want to watch and that people are going to consistently engage and watch your channel. And so whenever YouTube sees that viewers are watching your channel, they are then going to go out and find like audiences of that person that was watching your video, and they're going to put your video in front of them on your YouTube homepage and say, hey, this person has exhibited behavior online that I think this is the type of content that they're going to like, and they're going to test that out. And that is gold. That is what you want. You want YouTube to put your content out in front of other potential YouTube users, and that's how you're going to get that organic traffic where people are magically finding you, watching your content, and then calling you to buy a house.
I love that. Okay, so if it's all about the length of time they watch, how long should my videos be? I get
so
it.
we
It
found
doesn't
that
matter. They have to be good, but what would you tell me as a general rule?
Yeah, so we found that the ideal time of the video is anywhere between like 8 to 10 minutes in length.
Perfect.
That is enough time to get your message out there to what you're speaking about. And it is incredibly hard to be engaging on camera and entertaining for more than 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's hard.
It's hard. So do you suggest, like, if I'm not used to doing this, I'm not writing a 10-minute script, should I just maybe have the main point and then some bullet points in front of me so I stay on task? Or do you just get on and wing it? Or do you actually write out 10 minutes of talk and then read from a teleprompter like the president?
That is a great question. And for me, I found it's all in whatever makes you most successful in producing your videos consistently. So there are a lot of people that do make YouTube content and they're just writing out bullet points. So they have some loose idea of a script and they are, looking down at their paper and then they're winging it and kind of like knowing what they're talking about, talking to the camera, and then they'll stop and pause, go back to their next point and do it that way. And then you're editing out all of those pauses and look downs in between. For me, I found that was incredibly difficult and it was taking me a lot longer to produce a video doing it that method. I found that using a teleprompter app saved me a ton of time and it helped me stay on task and produce content in a shorter amount of time. Now, the key to that is that you want to make sure that you can do it in a way that makes it seem like you're not reading off a teleprompter. So there are many, many great apps that you can use, and we use our cell phone to film videos. And so there's apps that will put that script right on top of your iPhone so that you're looking at your camera and reading off of that script.
I love it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, a teleprompter script will just scroll it up on your phone. So you'll be looking at your phone and it'll scroll it and you can change the speed to match your cadence. I love that. And we're going to give you some names of these companies as we go. Okay, so now I got this video made. I've used the teleprompter thing. I've read it. It looks great. Now, what do I do? I don't know how to edit.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay. What do I do?
Yeah, I found out quickly that it was taking me 8 hours to edit a video. And between running a real estate business and trying to consistently put out content, I quickly realized that this was not sustainable and that there was no way I could keep up with this. So then that became a hunt for a video editor. So I knew that this was something that I needed to outsource and leverage in order for us to consistently be able to put out this content. So started asking around in some online Facebook groups and tried some various different methods through trial and error of finding a video editor. And so this is someone that is not local to us. We, send everything through the power of the internet to him, and he edits the videos and sends it back to us. And then we upload those videos every single week.
I love that. Okay. So now I get this edited video back and am I ready to post it? Or at this point, I now need to worry about a thumbnail, which I don't even know what that is.
Yes, you need to have a really great thumbnail. That thumbnail is kind of like the book cover for your video.
And a thumbnail, just so I get this right, because by the way, if you can't tell, I was Googling to get ready for this. The thumbnail is the little picture that gets people to be like, oh my gosh, that guy's going to eat a Carolina Reaper pepper. I have to watch that. It's a picture of him crying or something, right? Like that's the thing.
Yes. Yeah. So that thumbnail is the book cover of your video and you want it to be really bright, colorful and engaging. You want that thumbnail to kind of like make someone stop in their tracks and say, oh, what is this video about? Through others that have been really successful making YouTube videos, we have learned that the best thumbnails are thumbnails that have 5 words or less on the thumbnail. And you do not want to repeat the title of your video. You want to kind of think of it like complementary goods. You want that thumbnail to complement your video, but kind of make someone stop and think, oh, what is this video about? This is something that I want to watch.
I love that. Is there a piece of, okay, I'm going to do your tech stack in a second. So then I post it, and then what?
So you are going to have an engaging title for your video. So that is important. And one question that we often get is, do I need to do a whole lot of keyword research? Do I need to do a lot of optimization for this video? And what we have learned is that in years past, that was best practice, and a lot has changed. A lot of that does not matter anymore. You do want to obviously have the name of the town and the area that you are making that video on in your title, but you really just want a catchy title. You don't really want to think about keyword stuffing that video title. And you're going to want to have a description that kind of gives the viewer what the video is about. That is important. But again, this is not something that you want to spend hours researching and putting together. Get it out there and put it out there. And then once you publish your video through the magic of YouTube, you just want to wait and wait and wait and do nothing with that video. And that is the hardest part in the beginning whenever you're growing a channel, because you are, if you're like me, you're obsessive with going back to that channel and seeing how many people have watched your video. And at the beginning,
I used to do that with Facebook. Like I would make a post that I knew was funny, and then I would just keep refreshing to see how many people were LOLing or liking it. And then I would call people that were my friends, and I'd be like, bro, you didn't see that post I made? It was hysterical. How come you haven't liked it yet? And it cost me some relationships. I'm not on Facebook anymore because of that. That sounds so hard because I want feedback. Like I want to be like, do they think I'm an idiot? Do they think, but you have to get
so when you're first getting started, it's really hard because you want that validation that what you're doing and what you're spending time on is making a difference and making an impact. So someone gave me the advice that it was going to take a good solid 3 months before anything happens. And we found that very true. So consistently putting out a video, it was around that 6-7 week mark that we actually got a phone call. And what's funny is that when you think back to that time period, when I look back at that time period, some of these videos that we were putting out, which at the time that's only 6 or 7 videos because we were doing it consistently every week, only had 30 or 40 views. And that feels very disheartening. You're like, man, this is not connecting. This is not landing. This is not getting us anywhere. And then you get that phone call that someone says they watched your video, they're moving here in 2 or 3 months, and they want you to help them find a house. And that is the magic.
Oh my gosh. What the hell are in these videos that people are watching them on repeat? Sarah, what are you doing on these videos? Are you like, walk me through, are you walking through new construction models? Are you like walking through town? Are you just saying, hey, here are the 4 greatest restaurants in Buford? Like what? Give me 2 examples of your most popular videos.
So 10 things you need to know before moving to Buford, Georgia.
Love that. Give me another one.
5 mistakes people make when moving to Georgia.
Give me one more.
Pros and cons of living in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Y'all, this is so smart. I by the way, I could keep saying, give me another one, and you can see how quickly she does. But it sounds like you're doing what we do, which is give me the myths and give me the myth understandings, and then I'll give you the universal truths about this community. Here's what you think. Here's what I know, sort of a thing.
Yes, and I'll have to say that none of what we are doing is an original thought. So we always say that, follow systems and models. And this was just simply finding that other agents were having success doing this. And it was just taking the courage and putting the action steps in place to go out, seek that information, mimic that, model it, and put it into practice. And it has been wildly successful for us and our team.
What is my tech stack for this? I mean, I know I need the internet because I need YouTube. I know I need to have some sort of a camera. I have to have some sort of a light. I have to have some sort of a microphone. Do I need any other software or any other programs, or where would you guide me?
Yeah, so if you are technologically advanced and you enjoy editing and you can do that quickly, obviously you're going to need editing software. We have found that the best thing is to outsource that. And so you can go to places like Fiverr or any of these other virtual assistant companies. They typically will have a video editor that you can have on retainer. You can use a cyberbacker to do video editing. You're going to want to find that video editing piece. And then the other software that we use, my favorite teleprompter app, if you want to go that route, is something called Prompt Smart Pro. And the unique differentiator about that app is that it recognizes your speech pattern. So it pauses and stops as you pause and stop. So it's not a continuous scroll that you have to keep up with.
I love that.
And that's like $20 a year. And it's an app on your iPhone.
Okay.
And then you're going to want to have some sort of software that you can make the thumbnails in. So using either Canva or PicMonkey as another popular app to make those thumbnails in. And you're going to want to have a pro subscription to that. And you're looking at around $100 a year for that as well. And that's really all you need to do to be successful on making YouTube videos.
I interviewed an agent the other day and they said, I need something called Morning Glory. Do you know what that is?
So Morning Glory is a website where you can do keyword research and SEO optimization and kind of get ideas from that. And at the beginning, we spent time using TubeBuddy and things like that. And I'll be honest with you, it has not made a difference in the outcome. What I found is that I would spend hours researching something and found out I don't need to research hours. I just need to mimic and do what other people are doing to be successful making YouTube channel videos. And that is what we've done. And I'm all about making something as efficiently and effectively as possible.
And then my last question on this, would you say, at least in your business, this has been more of a buyer generating funnel or a seller, a buyer? Okay. But they'll all be selling their house eventually, and then you all will have a ton of listings, I bet.
It's kind of embarrassing. Sometimes they'll say like, I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity. Like it's really you. And
it's so
you're
cool.
Like, what? Like, this is not, I'm not anybody like that. And I'll also say a surprise that has come from this for us has been not only the quality of the leads that we've gotten, but the price points. So we have done more $1 million clients from YouTube than what I ever would have had exposure to in my sphere. And that has been amazing.
I get it. No one likes to say I have a lot of money, but I have a little bit of money and I watch YouTube. And there's this other guy that I know, he has a mustache and he's a billionaire and he watches YouTube. So like, I think that everyone's kind of watching YouTube, like regardless.
Yes.
Anything else you want to close with, Sarah?
No, I would just encourage you, if this is something that you want to do, to just start and just know that you're going to get better. But video is the way of the future. And if you're not doing some sort of video, you are behind the 8 ball.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is yet another Keller Williams story. Thanks, Sarah. Thank you for tuning in. I got more. I know you loved it. Click right here.